Welcome to the Sunday Million Highlight Show. This one covering the million from the 17th of April. 6,475 runners, generating a prize pool of just shy of $1.3 million. I'm Nick Wealthall, bringing you the best of the final table action. And here are your runners and riders as we look at hand one. A tightly bunched field. Tropicana and Wei Gang trading places at the top of the table, but they are very closely matched in chips. And as you can see, you could throw a blanket over all 9 of them. Also, with the blinds at 200,000, 400,000, a lot of players between 10 and 15 big blinds, or around there anyway. And I think we'll see some showdowns and some early eliminations in the first level or two. Let's get into it. This is hand number 4. Chip leader, or there or thereabouts, Wei Gang, will fold his suited hand. Fufu 9 from the Czech Republic also folds. All the way around to Tropicana, our other big stack. But as our big stack still only has 25 big blinds, so it's pretty shallow final table right now. And Mass 2184 will open the button. Not sure about that open, given how shallow all the stacks are. I'm also not sure about just a flat call from Fishboon, the Croatian player. We'll see a flop with 10s, which could have got awkward, but that's about as good a flop as you're going to get. Gut shot to the straight flush for Fishboon, as well as probably still having the best hand. I'm not sure what Mass's strategy here is. We know he doesn't have a hand. He probably knew he wasn't going to have a hand opening 5-2. But he's going to bet it. And Fishboon will keep calling. I think a lot of players would have already had their money in the middle with his hand. He does make the straight, which is always a pleasure. And Mass has got that horrible pot-size bet situation. He does decide to check it. This is the problem when you're so shallow in chips. And now Mass might go broke, because he does make a flush on the end. Fishboon with the big slow play and doesn't really get paid. Well, strange sort of hand. Fishboon there must have known he had the best hand, presumably on every street. Still didn't want to get all the money in the middle. Still, he does win the pot, does get himself over 10 million. We'll see more 9-handed action. Hand 6. Fufu 9, which I'm getting an increasing amount of pleasure saying each time round. Doubles the big blind. 800,000 to go. Tropicana will fold the ace-10. Funny sort of spot with the early position raise and those stack sizes. He likes just to fold, which you can understand. And Yarrick Crew makes a flat call, which is, I don't know, ambitious, let's say. You can see how shallow the stacks are. He actually has just over a pot-sized bet. Well, I guess if you're going to flop a flush draw, that makes it a lot easier. He can put his money in now, but a lot of times he's just burning up chips with that flat call, I think. Fufu's in the horrible position. He's the one with the 5s and the guessing game. I guess it's not a terrible flop for him. I mean, if Yarrick had a strong ace, he's almost certainly going to be 3-betting. So Fufu can probably bet this once and then pretty safely get out the way. Yarrick, I think, only has one option here. He's got to put his money in the middle. If you're going to flat call in position and then flop a hand as big as Queen High Flush Draw. He does shove. It's just kind of a bit grim for the Foof Master General. He does have to fold. And Yarrick will scoop the pot. Not sure I like how he played it, but he's come up smelling of roses. And it'll keep us 9-handed. And Yarrick from the Russian Federation now over 8 million in chips. Hand number 12 is going to be folded all the way around. Back on Fufu. He's got 12, just under 13 big blinds. Has an ace. And decides to fold. Possibly tempted by the shove. Decided against it. Everybody else gets out the way. And Mass 2184 has what looks like a pretty straightforward situation. Yep, in goes the money. And Fishboon Well, it's slightly tricky, isn't it? I guess it depends how wide he thinks Mass would shove here. He does decide to make the call, and we will flip him. The three's a small favourite here, but Mass needs him to hold up, and it doesn't look like they're going to. King on the flop for Fishboone. 8 of spades changes nothing. Just a miracle 3 can get Mass out of this, and it's a case of no Mass, which is me slipping in a little bit of the old linguisticals there. Thank you. Mass 2184 in ninth place. The Israeli player going home with $12,000. And a story to tell. Not a particularly good story, and certainly not one you'd want to hear twice. But that's not what counts as a story. Remember that all of them battled through thousands of players to get to this final table. And they're very close to some seriously big money. You've got to win your flips, though. Sam DMND. I'm going to go with Sam. I think I know him well enough. From the United Kingdom. He will open it up with Ace-Jack. Yarrow just flat calls. He likes a flat call, especially with suited cards. Hard not to, isn't it? Hard not to. Our short stack folds in the big blind. I'm going to go with Guaikuru, which is probably a million miles away from the Brazilian player's actual name, but that's what we're sticking with. And again, Yarrow outflops his opponent. Well, I technically didn't outflop him last time with a flush draw, but you know what I'm saying. Improves his hand. This time he really has outrun Sam, who was in the situation of having the dominating ace. Quick call from Yarrow, and Sam doesn't have a hand here, but he does now have the nut flush draw. This is probably going to be enough to get him to shove. Just under a pot-sized bet left. He's got 2 overcards and the nut flush draw, plus he must have some fold equity here, and yeah, I like the shove. And Yarrow, well, he's put himself in an impossible spot, and he ends up folding the best hand, and I guess that's a graphic illustration of playing marginal hands when the stacks are short. You end up having to make big calls, big decisions. Yarrow ends up folding a hand that was technically winning at the time. Sam up to over 7 million with that hand. We're still in the 200,000, 400,000 blind level. A lot of action at this level. Everybody's going to fold round to Wei Gang, who will make the double the big blind raise. And pretty easy decision for Guaikuru with 5.5 big blinds. Puts the money in with ace-9. And he's found a good spot to put it in. I think Wei Gang almost has to call this. He's got to call off another, oh, what is that, 1.4 million to win almost 4 million. He does have to call this, I think. Makes the call. He'll be relieved to see he's pretty live here. Guaikuru is the all-in player. Needs this ace-9 to hold up. We'll see the flop. It's a good flop for Guaikuru. And that's a better turn. Only a queen for a kind of freaky straight would turn things around. Actually, Guaikuru will make the nut flush and do it in style. He doubles up and keeps his hopes alive in the million. Hand 20. Still 200,000, 400,000 blinds. Why change your winning formula? It will go up though. I've seen this before. Always goes up. Never quite know when. Wei Gang will double the big blind with 9-7. So opening things up a bit, which is bold considering how short stacked everybody is. Good chance of getting shoved on, but it hasn't happened yet. Tropicana will fold, and Fishboone, your chip leader, will flat call with 6s. It's certainly one way to go. I wonder what his plan is now. There's not a lot of good flops for pocket 6s. And Wei Gang with the pair of 7s has him dominated. But lots of opportunity for Fishboone to try and muscle his way to a win. He'll check. Wei Gang could check this back. One of those situations where if he bets and gets raised, it's really, really horrible. And that is what he decides to do. So, check on the flop. Turn makes Wei Gang 2 pair, which is going to give him a bit more security. I'm not sure it's going to win him any more chips. We'll find out. 2.3 in the middle. And he's going to think about it. Some sort of wager in the offing, I think. There you go. 1.1 million now. Fishboone with the decision, and this is one of those where, I mean, he's really guessing. His sixes could easily be good, could just as easily not be good. Perfectly possible that Wei Gang's checked back a king or has a hand like he actually has. Now the flush draw has arrived, but I think Wei Gang must bet this. I mean, there's a lot of different types of hands that can pay him here. Just thinking about it, stack sizes make it a little bit weird in that if he made a small bet and got shoved on, it would be kind of odd with the straight and the flush having been made on the river. But he is going to bet, and just the fold from Fishbone. A super creative shove there would have been interesting. Not sure what Wei Gang would have done. I guess he wasn't going anywhere. He does take the pot down. And for all you fans of the 200,000, 400,000 blind level, I can tell you that's your lot. It was a good one. One for the ages. Put it in the books. Blinds have gone up. Guaikuru with 10 big blinds will get rid of the queen nothing. Folded round to Sam, and he goes out as well. Tropicana passes. And Fishbone has 2 black aces on the button. Must be nice. He makes a raise and prays for action. And gets it. Well, this is all of your dreams come true in tournament poker. Final table of the million. You're already a biggish stack, and you're going to get action with aces from ace deuce. Bad luck for Yarikru. Has done very little wrong in this hand, but needs a miracle now. Doesn't look like one's in the offing. Backdoor diamonds is his only hope. Well, set of aces for Fishbone will end this story and end Yarikru's great run through the tournament, as Fishbone makes a full house. And Yarikru leaves us in 8th place. The Russian player will take $15,500. If you'd like to get involved in the million, we'd like to give you a free shot at doing so. Our free roll can be found by clicking Tawny Free Roll, scrolling down and finding online poker show free roll. There is a password, and that's the way we get you to watch the rest of the show. I'll give it to you later. Hang tight. I know you can't scroll forward and miss out on the poker, because it's really exciting too. Fishbone has the big stack, 19 million in chips, leads the way. All the way down to Guaikuru, who's the short stack, a much bigger spread of chip stacks than we started out with, as we get down to the serious money in the million. 7-handed, and just a couple of spots away from the really big money jumps. That's what these players will be thinking about. Wei Gang staying active though. He's been active throughout this final table. Makes it $1 million to go. $1 million straight. Think of it as dollars. It's kind of cool. I should point out it's not actually dollars, but it's still cool. Fufu on the button with Queen 8. If you're giggling every time I say Fufu, then have a long hard look at yourselves. Fufu folds. All the way around to Tropicana, who doesn't have much of a hand, unless he thinks that Wei Gang is opening just a few too many pots and wants to do something about it, that is. Well, no instant fold, so he's thinking about something. And that is exactly what he's thinking. He's thinking, Wei Gang, your hand is deep in the cookie jar, and I'm the man to slap it and send you to bed with no cookies. I've overextended the metaphor, but it doesn't change the fact that Tropicana has made a nice move, and the 3-bet takes it down for him. Up to over 12 million with that nice piece of timing. Tropicana 111 is from Germany, and building a nice stack here. Full Lisa has had chips whittled away and needs to shove here. Ace-6 of diamonds, good hand to do it with in late-ish position. Unfortunately, Guaikuru has the real hand. 10s and another all-in. Full Lisa has Guaikuru just covered, but basically this is the whole ball game for both these players. Guaikuru with the best hand, but will it hold up